It's shocking to me that we're even having this debate.
Attorney General Jason Miyares wants school districts in Northern Virginia to face consequences for going against federal mandates and allowing males and female restrooms. Both Fairfax County and Arlington County public schools allow students to use restrooms and locker rooms based on their gender identity, regardless of biological sex. Miyares and the Department of Education see this as a violation of Title IX. Miyares filed 2 amicus briefs in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit Court to block attempts by FCPS and APS to automatically get federal funding. The Department of Education placed FCPS and APS on high-risk status due to the Title IX violation. This means the schools have not lost federal funding, but do not automatically receive money from the government and have to request reimbursements for any costs. The school districts have filed emergency requests for injunction to be able to receive the funds up front. The Attorney General's office wants the courts to allow the Department of Education to enforce consequences by withholding the funds when school districts violate Title IX. There are 2 specific cases that led to these briefs. The first is in Fairfax County. A boy was allowed to enter the girls' locker room and watch them change clothes before physical education class at West Springfield High School. When the girl complained, the teacher said nothing could be done because the boy identified as female. Defense of Freedom Institute filed an OCR complaint on behalf of a mother and her daughter.
Well, for the West Springfield High School, the idea that you have a situation of a freshman girl that walks into a bathroom or is in a locker room and complains to her superiors that a boy with facial hair is watching her undress, and the end result is basically from the school to the freshman 14-year-old undress and change faster. This is Exhibit A of what I've said before, of people being so open-minded their brain falls out.
The second case is in Arlington County. A repeat sex offender was able to enter the female locker room at Washington Liberty High School by claiming to be transgender. Richard Cox is currently in jail and on trial in Arlington County for over 30 charges, including indecent liberties with a child and indecent exposure. Washington Liberty has a pool that's open to the public, and during his last court appearance, testimony from an Arlington detective said Cox had saved children's swim class schedules and had child pornography on his phone.
It is clear, given his past conduct, and that he sought children out in a very deliberate, systematic manner for sexual gratification. And the reality is he should have never been in that position.
I reached out to Arlington Public Schools Superintendent Francisco Duran to ask if the county is going to change their policy regarding who is allowed to enter restrooms and locker rooms due to the Richard Cox incident. Duran responded by saying additional signage was added, and now they require a 100% ID check against the sex offender database before anyone is allowed to enter any APS pool. When pressed again on whether males will still be allowed in the female locker room, Duran responded, quote, "APS permits individuals to use locker rooms that correspond with their gender identity." This is the additional signage in the locker room. It requires patrons to close the shower curtains and cover intimate body areas while using shared spaces, in an attempt to be mindful of modesty. According to employees from Washington Liberty's Aquatic Center, Cox would undress completely and walk around the small locker room for hours. He was arrested when he was caught fully naked in the shower stall with the curtain open, performing a lewd act in front of a 5-year-old girl.
We now know, just from recent reports, that he kept on his phone the schedule of the girls' swim team, so he could literally travel where they were and walk into their safe places.
Richard Cox's next case at Arlington County Courthouse is on October 3rd. Adrienne Perry with the Virginia Attorney General's office told me she believes he will elect to represent himself in order to try and intimidate witnesses. From Arlington, Virginia, I'm Amy DeLaura for Washington Examiner.